All right, I want to tell you a quick story, and I think this would be super helpful if you have a tendency to just look around and feel like, why am I not able to make certain things in my life come true? And there's like things that you want, like you want more money, you want more romance and love, you want an aligned partner, you want to start your own business or YouTube channel, and you're wondering like, what's this like secret formula that these other people seem to have, like this confidence that they have, or this ability to just make more money or have this like love in their life. And what I have found is that it just takes time for certain things, and it depends on where we come from. But if you look at where I come from, which is someone who's painfully insecure and in survival mode for the majority of my life, paycheck to paycheck, constantly comparing myself to other people. And then you look at where I am right now, I'm no longer in an eating disorder, and I haven't been for over a couple of decades. I'm sober, and I'm living in Hawaii, and my job is a full-time artist and a full-time coach. So how did that happen? Trust me, it just did not happen overnight. It took a long time to retrain my brain, to unlearn things, to acclimate my nervous system to new levels of exposure, visibility, romance, love, connection with the opposite sex. I mean, it has taken a long time to rewire these things. But what I want to say is that anything is possible. So, look behind me. I am literally I live in Hawaii. I've been living here for almost 6 years, and it's really unbelievable, really. And I mean, gosh, if you knew where I came from, and I try to explain to the best of my ability in the most vulnerable way possible so that people can just know that no matter where you come from, like nothing, you can come from nothing. You can be so addicted to drugs and alcohol, so insecure, so poor, so in an eating disorder, so like having a lack of self-worth, to I'm not obviously in like the place that I ultimately want to be at 50. I want to be married. I want to make more money. I want to have more impact. But where I presently am is pretty awesome. And it happened in little bite-sized chunks. It happened with daring to get out of my comfort zone and daring to do things I'm freaking scared of doing, and doing them before I felt like I was ready. Like being in a band and saying yes to being the lead singer of a band before I actually felt like I could do it. And moving to Hawaii when I was like, how is this ever going to happen? But one thing I want to say though is that my faith in God has been one of the number one, if not the number one things that has played the biggest part in this, is having faith in something bigger than me, and constantly surrendering my will and saying, God, your will, not mine, be done. Whatever that looks like, help me to just guide me to what is going to be the best thing for me, for other people. Not that I'm going to lean to one side too heavily, where that's where I could have the tendency to do that, where I could lean too heavily with giving other people what they want than what I need, and just making sure that there's always a balance in my life. And so we have to work with the nervous system, and we have to know that these things take time, and we have to be patient. And I feel like in a world of quick dopamine hit, we can have so many things at our fingertips. It's getting harder and harder, especially for the younger generation, to really wait on things, work hard for things. I have worked my motherfucking ass off for the things that I have in my life. When people ask me, how did you do this? I'm like, I figured it out. I literally figured out how to do absolutely everything in my life. I'm very resourceful. I persevere. I know when to quit, and I know when to not quit. And I have developed this character within myself where I can be self-possessed, self-assured. I've gained self-trust, self-confidence, and self-sovereignty and agency. And that's one of the things that I think that people need to realize. Like, do you have agency in your life? Or are you leaning on external things so much, and you're not leaning on a higher power to develop the character in you necessary to steward things that you really want to steward? Because if you don't become the person right now that can carry and steward and sustain those things that you want, then everything's just going to crash down, and you're going to either create shame for yourself, or it's just not gonna go the way that you want it to go. So just small baby steps, appreciating the process and staying connected to God each day and finding that place of joy and peace in this moment. Yes, in this moment, even in the moment where it could be your darkest day. I remember the day that I stopped drinking, I stopped binging and purging my food. I had essentially nothing, but I had myself back. I had my dignity back. I told the truth. I finally admitted that I was like spinning out of control and everything was unmanageable and I felt freaking crazy, but there was some crazy piece to that. And then from that foundation, I could slowly, and I'm talking slowly, build my life back. So I help people, and if you are someone who is willing to do the work and show up together, we can slowly but surely do the work together and we can create a life that you're freaking obsessed with, okay? I love you and I gotta go.